Hi, I'm Charles Bursell, and this is Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. Screens, 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 screens in front of us all the time, all day long. Our phones, our tablets, our laptops, our computers at work, our computers at home, our televisions. Man, we've reached a point. I don't want to sound like, every new technology has a Charles Bursell calling the warning, oh, radio is the end of all of us. A wheel? Are you serious? Do you know what that'll do to the children? Not a wheel. Not sliced bread. What will that mean to society? I know, every technology, but I do want to talk about the omnipresence of screens in our lives and what it may or may not be doing to us. I do want to talk about that today. Tech addiction. Let me start with this. If you search this, you're going to find a million articles about tech addiction, about screens, all of that. I'm going to talk about one just for a second. Dr. Nicholas Kardaris, head of an addiction rehab center, wrote an article. And he starts with a case study about this kid. He's like 10 years old, and he's kind of addicted to his game. His mother is worried about him. He loses interest in baseball and reading and refuses to do his chores. He's starting to become trouble. And then his mother worries because the kid tells his mother he's starting to see the cube shapes from his game in his dreams. And so she worries about that a little bit. She tries to take away the game. He has terrible temper tantrums. So it's getting worse and worse. And then one night it really hits the fan. She goes into his room. His tablet is beside him. The game is running. The tablet is glowing. And he's sitting up in bed in a catatonic state, just staring into space with bloodshot eyes. So she takes him to the doctor, of course. They detox the kid, goes through therapy. So this obviously is an extreme case. It's not going to happen to all of us, and that's not what I'm saying. But it is an extreme case that illustrates what can happen. And my question for you guys today is, what is your experience, either with yourself or your kids or your family or your friends? Are screens, is the omnipresence of tech starting to affect your life? We have a caller. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sandra McLean.
Sandra McLean, hello.
Hi, I am one of the tech advisors for Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon Musk, of course, who's the founder of
Tesla
and he's sending space things into space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're going down a new road now, and the road is connecting technology directly to the brains of people.
Right.
And I just wanted to talk about how life-changing this will be for cases such as the one you were just talking about, because this kid won't have a screen addiction anymore. He'll be connected, and he'll be able to turn it on and off, and it'll really eliminate all of the bad side effects of staring at a screen all day.
Let me stop you just for a second. You said he'll be able to turn it on and off. Is that true? Will he be able to turn it off, or will he become addicted to it nonetheless, even though there's not a screen?
Charles, that line of questioning sounds a little bit like a nanny state, and so I don't really like to go down that line.
I liked you when you first called. I didn't like that.
I like free will. No, I think that we have the ability to disconnect, and so I think this is going to be monumental in a positive direction. No longer do you have to stare at your phone on Google. You just think, what does this word mean? And you'll look it up in your brain, and then you have the answer.
I'm happy to have you call, and I'm not a Luddite by any stretch. New technology is very exciting to me. My only problem is you sound like you're straight out of the PR department, and I don't really trust PR people.
Well, Elon Musk doesn't really believe in departments, and so he just has all of his advisors talk about a bunch of different things with different people, and so I'm definitely not in a PR department.
I really want to like you. I really do.
I want to like you too, and someday
we're not there
maybe
yet.
I can coat your brain in some neurons, and then you will see the truth.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Thank you for calling. I really appreciate the call. Best days are okay. That was scary. Boy, people like that are so convincing. They really draw you in, because I am interested in new technology, and Elon Musk is an interesting guy. I don't think he's the devil or anything. Speaking of these tech guys, Steve Jobs was notoriously a low-tech parent. He's famous for this. His kids didn't have tablets. You guys probably heard this. And other Silicon Valley tech executives and engineers, they routinely enroll their kids in no-tech Waldorf schools. In fact, I made a note here. Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page went to no-tech Montessori schools. Amazon creator Jeff Bezos, the same. Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales, the same. So, yeah, the people who know this stuff best know of its dangers. So we're talking about tech addiction today. Are there too many screens in your life, and are they making you crazy?
Come on, Dad, please. I'm 17 years old. I'm going to college next year. I need a cell phone.
It's a lot of money. What if I just give you a really long wire on the phone we already have on the wall?
No, Dad, money's not the issue, okay? I have been working summers at the burger joint, and I've saved up enough money, and it is just you and Papa putting this barrier up for me and saying that technology is not allowed in our house.
Well, to be perfectly frank, I didn't want you addicted to technology. I didn't want the bionic woman in my house. Next thing you know, you'll be bench pressing a truck, and I just can't have that around. I can't deal with somebody running faster than me. And just, look, I mean, you watch TV every second of the day when we had one. You didn't even talk to people. You just became a zombie robot. And that's what I don't want.
I feel like you're misremembering my childhood. Papa, come in here. Dad is coloring childhood like this thing where I was...
She's complaining about the phone again.
Well, honey, she's growing up. Maybe we get her one.
See?
No,
Papa's always been my more reasonable father, and you are my less reasonable father. No offense.
Oh, now he's crying.
I know.
Way to go. Come here, Daddy.
No. I don't want a phone leaving this house.
So I can get one if I keep it in the house?
You can get one if you keep it in the house and it never leaves the house.
But she's moving away to college.
We'll put a long wire on it.
You and your long wires.
I just don't like the idea of phones leaving the house.
I think this is something that you two need to solve, all right? You've told me a lot of times about how Papa used to play a lot of Minecraft and that he got really addicted to it, and I think you're taking out his addiction on me when I've never showed any signs of addiction.
You don't even remember those lost years.
No, but you talk about it every time I bring up wanting a new video game system or something.
But the point is that there were lost years you don't remember because you were watching TV the whole time. And so if we have a phone that leaves the house, those lost years will multiply.
How are we going to hear that sweet, lovely, condescending, judgmental voice of our daughters?
Yeah, how
Through
are
the
you
mail.
Hear it?
Researchers are telling us that when they do brain imaging of gamers who are addicted, there's an exact parallel. When they look at the frontal cortex, which is responsible for basic functioning. It also includes impulse control. When they do brain imaging on a gamer, it looks exactly like someone on cocaine. It's the same. That's what they're telling us. That's not me. These are cognitive scientists. These are neuroscientists. They've dubbed it electronic cocaine, digital heroin. Raises dopamine levels as much as sex. This is science, you guys. As I love to repeat, and I do like once per show, as Neil deGrasse Tyson likes to tell us. Whether you believe it or not, it's true because it's science. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not.
Welcome to the Dopamine Dope Shop. I'm glad to see you ready to game. So we have the consoles here. Everybody can have a seat at their favorite game. We have who's on first, what's cooking, and...
Yeah.
You haven't even started yet, and look, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
You're strong.
Yeah.
You're ready to fight.
Yeah.
Sit down
I
and
want to get those dupas.
Dupas. Right. You can get as many dupas as you want. Just plug right in. Put on the helmet.
Hi, this is Jeremy. Coming
Jeremy.
In, last time I was playing the game in the corner.
Yeah.
Wanted to do that one again.
Good. Yeah,
It's
you're
fun.
just in
It's
time
fun.
too. I recognize the signs of malediction. You're twitchy.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not twitchy. Just excited. Excited. Ready to go.
All right, I love that kind of excitement.
Synapse
Just
is
put down
firing.
your $50 and you'll be good to go for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll give you 100. I'll two rounds.
Oh, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for you to be ready.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my first time here.
Oh, welcome aboard to the
Yeah.
Dopamine Dope Shop.
Thank you. I have been having a hard time in engaging after my dog died, and I just want to like tune out and feel something other than sadness.
Yes, we have just the game for you. It's called Insta-Zen.
I mean, I've heard online that this stuff is addictive, and I just want to do like a little to feel better, and that's
you can
fine,
do that.
right?
Yeah, no, there's no addiction. That's
Okay.
a lie from the press. That's
Okay.
what's known as false news.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Yeah.
thought, because I know they made a big deal out of like marijuana and stuff, and my older brother says there's nothing wrong with that. So I just wanted to make sure that this was like the same thing.
Okay, no, there's nothing wrong with this. This is entirely socially acceptable and
Okay.
non-addictive and non-chemical either. There's no chemicals going on whatsoever at the Dopamine Dope Shop.
The lights are, the screen, like I already feel
Yes.
a lot better. It's so beautiful. I didn't
know.
know video games could be this beautiful.
They are very beautiful. They're more beautiful than art.
Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. We're talking about tech addiction today, all the screens in our lives and how they affect us. I want to talk about a book I read, and you probably read. It was a seminal text on the subject. It was called 4 Arguments for the Elimination of Television by a guy named Jerry Mander. I won't obviously go through the whole thing, but there was one part of that book that was very interesting. He writes at length about how video is inferior to audio as far as taking in information. So audio is superior to video. Why? Because of the way your brain works. When you're watching a digital image, it goes through your eye and boom, right, just smack to your brain without any work. Your brain doesn't have to process anything. It doesn't have to do any work. As opposed to audio, which we're listening to right now on this podcast, your brain is doing much of the processing. Now you go to reading, then now that's even better. Your brain is doing even more work. So it's better, it's healthier. When you're watching digital video, this is not a metaphor. It's quite literally hypnosis. It's going straight to your brain with no filter, with no processing on your part. It's a passive activity. So without being an alarmist and talking about addiction and all the terrible things that can happen, this is something that's happening to us every single day in our daily lives. I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, I would like to call to disagree with some things that you had said.
All right.
Is this okay to proceed?
So yes.
Okay. Because I'm
So
about,
deferential. I appreciate. I don't usually
yes,
get
well,
that.
I'm about to get super nasty on your ass.
Okay,
so
so
just want to be as respectful as possible.
It was
from
a
the
soft
outset.
soft landing there, so you can really
Soft
get me.
landing for the hard
All
finish.
right. Who am I speaking with?
The howl.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The howl.
Zahowl?
The howl. That is both my first name, middle name, and my last name. Is
You're
my
one of
middle
these guys who puts a the in front of your name. I love that.
Yes, and I know you Americans probably would spell it with 2 different letters, but
I love guys who do that, who put a the in front of their name. I think
yes,
that's just
we
the
are
coolest
a
thing.
very pretentious bunch that think very highly of ourselves.
All right. The Howl, like in Mr. Howell, like on Gilligan's Island?
I wouldn't.
Lover.
Hello?
Like that guy?
Who am I speaking? Oh, this was you doing a voice.
Yeah, that was my little
I thought for
impression.
a second I was transferred to the lost years. I'm not mad at you anymore. I have gotten to know you very well.
We've
and
created a little rapport here.
And things are super great.
See, this is like when you meet somebody at a party and you have this instant rapport
Yes,
and repartee.
Is-
I wonder if there's a reason those two words sound alike, rapport and repartee. I think there might be a relationship there.
As I think the ultimate derivation of those is the word rap.
Oh, there you go.
Rap.
See?
I can't tell if you can hear that from my accent, but rap. The rap music.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. See, continuing your potty metaphor, I saw you from a distance and despised your ugly face, and now that I've talked to your mouth and hear it with my ears, I love you.
I love you too.
The reason I was calling...
Oh, yeah, I thought I dodged that bullet.
Nope, I may be nice, but I'm not an idiot.
Okay, the howl.
Okay, the howl.
Gilligan.
Say, hello?
Go ahead.
Who am I speaking? Oh, this was you doing a voice again. You need to stop doing this.
Allen Ginsberg. Yeah, howl.
Hello?
No, it just made me think of Allen Ginsberg. I have two howl
Are you
references.
going to do Allen Ginsberg's
I
voice
don't.
again?
I don't
or
know.
what?
Actually, I can't remember what he sounded like. I think he sounded kind of angry.
Do you want to do it for us?
No, I don't really. I couldn't do that.
Thank you. That would be confusing.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you at the next party.
All right. Thanks. That's the howl. Oh, another caller. Great. Hi, you're on the air.
I've seen the greatest minds of my generation.
It's Allen Ginsberg.
Hi.
How you doing, Alan?
I'm angry for some reason.
Yeah. How's Lawrence Ferlinghetti these days? You
we're going on a road trip.
You guys hanging out at City Lights?
No, we're going on a road trip.
Oh, you're going on the road.
Yeah.
You're going with Jack Kerouac. You're all going to get together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live in San Francisco. City Lights was my favorite place to hang out. I don't know if I ever saw
Far
you.
out.
Yeah, okay. Allen Ginsberg on the line. Cool. Oh, it's a wonderful show. We're talking about tech addiction today. Too many screens in our lives. What else do I want to bring up? Oh, we can't let the half hour get away without talking about cell phones. You might not know this statistic, but I think it's important that we know it. Do you know how many car crashes are now caused by phones?
5.
7.
85.
12.
It's 1/4 of all car crashes in the United States. Full 25% are now caused by phones. Now, this might surprise you. You might think a lot of that is texting. Only about 10% of all car crashes caused by phones are caused by texting. The other 90% are caused by talking. Here's something else that might surprise you, and then I'll let you weigh in. Of the crashes that are caused by talking, what would you say the percentage is between hands-free and handheld?
5.
7.
85.
12.
50%. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really make any difference whether it's handheld or hands-free, because it's not about the hand. It's about the part of your brain that you're using.
It's about the audio.
It goes back to the gerrymander thing. Researchers tell us it's because you use the same part of your brain to talk to this disembodied voice that you need for driving. So that's the problem. It's the equivalent of being drunk, of being like twice over the limit. So you might say, well, I can talk to my friend who's sitting next to me in the car. That uses a different part of your brain that actually engages you in your physical environment and actually makes you a better driver. And you got another set of eyeballs sitting next to you to say, hey, look out, that guy's weaving in and out of traffic. So some information that I don't think a lot of people have that I'm glad I'm able to let you in on.
All right, my disembodied voices, repeat after me.
Me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Where the eyes go,
Where the eyes go.
nothing.
Nothing.
Where the ears go,
Where the ears go.
the thoughts go.
The thoughts go.
Where the ears go,
Where the ears go.
the thoughts go. The thoughts go.
The thoughts go. The thoughts go.
Where the ears go,
Where the ears go.
the attention.
The
The
tension.
attention. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
Disembodied voices.
Disembodied voices.
Where the ears go.
Where the ears go.
Where
Where
the
the
ears
Ears
go.
go.
Ears go.
what?
Screw this. I'm getting out of here and finding a body.
I'm late for my bus.
Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. Caller, hi.
Hey, this is Fred
Hello, Fred.
calling from my car, quite ironically.
Oh, yeah, I was afraid of that.
Hey, listen, love the show. Great stuff. Always informative.
Basically right now,
Stimulating.
Fred, you're calling, you're drunk, basically. You're like twice over the limit because you're talking on the phone while you drive. You realize that, right?
Man, watch where you're going. I'm walking here.
Sorry about that.
I'm telling you.
I was just going to say, so I work long hours. I have to drive into the city from the burbs, so I don't really get to spend too much time with my family, so my 2.5-hour commute home is the only time that I can talk to my kids before they go to bed. So I just, what is your?
What are you looking for me? You looking for me to give you an out?
Yeah.
Give you an excuse? Just give
I
you my
guess ultimately,
blessing?
If you outlaw phones in cars, how am I going to spend?
How in the world did we survive? For when was the automobile invented? For the first 100 years.
1492.
How did we survive the first 100 years of automobiles? We couldn't talk to our kids on the cell phone. I don't know how we did it.
Well, that's true, but I think we are where we are now. We're in our little frame of society, so we have to deal with what we have. And the reality is, I gotta drive into the city to make a living, to support my family, and
I was able to like the howl. I can't bring myself to like this guy. Fred, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I will continue to listen to your show.
Oh, that's great. That's really all that matters.
And continue to scream obscenities at you and the pedestrians.
All right, I love you, Hal.
Love you, buddy.
All right. I want to tell you a short story. My first big radio job was for KYA in San Francisco.
KYA 1260 San Francisco.
Produced the morning show. So it was a pretty good gig. KYA, big powerhouse in San Francisco. The host was Terry McGovern. So this is my first big job. I handled all the buttons and the faders. And then I had a live mic. I was kind of Terry's sidekick. It was my job to laugh at Terry's jokes. So I'm working at KYA, very exciting. And the owner comes in one day. And this is a big deal for everybody because, owners of radio stations, they own lots of things. They own other media outlets and department stores and whatever. So it's a big deal that he's coming to see us. So we all gather together for this big staff meeting. Mr. Big Shot gets up in front of us. And at a big radio station, there are lots of departments. There's, of course, engineering. There's the on-air talent, the producers, and then marketing and promotions and sales and administrative and, all these departments. So he gets up in front of us and he says, now, I don't want you to think of yourself just in engineering or in whatever department you're in. I don't want you to think of yourself like that. And I'm thinking, well, okay, this is one of these motivational, inspirational talks. Fine, whatever, I'm listening. He looks at us, points his finger, says, you're all in sales. That's all it's about. And then he points at me and Terry and the other on-air people and says, your only job is to deliver the listener to the next block of commercials. I don't care how you do it. You're in sales. You get that listener to the next block of commercials. That's all it's about. And of course, people who do this kind of work are creative people. And they have good intentions. They want to entertain people or enlighten people. They do it for altruistic reasons, to help the world. They do it for egotistical reasons. They want to be the guy who makes you laugh or makes you think. But no, according to Mr. Big Shot, none of that matters. We are all in sales.
And welcome back. You're watching another episode of Advice with Stella. Now, right before the break, I read that letter from our sad letter writer who is looking for a solution. His wife recently passed away, and he is finding it hard to get out of bed in the morning. And so I'm going to talk about this a little bit with the help of one of our experts. And that expert is they work for a company called Spike Beds. And so when we have depression cases, right, part of the first step is getting out of bed in the morning. And so your solution might be to invest in one of these very uncomfortable beds. Now, here we have him. His name is Jim Ronaldson. Hi, Jim. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So this sounds like a great solution for our writer, right? I mean, you have talked about these beds, and by the way, we don't get any money from your company, just to make that clear.
Certainly
yes,
not.
And
this is all on the level.
It just seems to be the best solution for this problem.
Spike bed is definitely the best solution for your problem and many others.
Yeah, and you are you're the director of psychological fulfillment there, right?
Yes, I am.
So you're not in sales at all.
No,
Yeah.
certainly not. Sales
So-
are the farthest thing from my mind.
Right. So, okay, this sounds great. Thank you so much. So that is your answer, letter writer. Thanks for writing in. Our next guest has been having a really hard time at home. Could you tell us about it?
Yes, my furniture.
keeps shouting at me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm afraid to yell back because...
Take your load off!
Did you hear that?
No.
I did.
Oh.
It shouted at me to take my load off.
My question for you, caller, is
Yes.
Is your bed talking to you?
My bed is also shouting at me.
So it sounds like you might
yes,
you might need a
definitely.
new bed, right? What do you think,
right.
Jim?
Oh,
we
of
still have
course.
Jim here.
Spike bed for you, my brother. Spike bed.
Well, the thing
No
is,
talking from a spike bed.
I'm a little low on funds. I invested a lot in earplugs. So would you be able to be a doll and send me a free spike bed?
Oh, yes. No money down. We'll send you one right away. And in 3 easy payments of $9.99 and 95 cents, we'll have that spike bed to you, and you'll be the proud owner of it.
I mean, we're getting a little in the weeds right now, but when it comes to your health and your sleep, really the first thing that you need to concentrate on is an investment in a new bed.
Spike bed.
Spike bed for you, my brother.
Thanks, Stella. I really love your show. Stop yelling.
It's really just all about the money. Almost any topic we do on this program, it can come down to money. And, and the reason we're having these thoughts and the reason I told my radio story is because it's directly analogous to what digital designers are doing. There might be well-intentioned designers, content creators who really want to make creative work and bring good to the world and entertain people and enlighten people. But really, it's all about keeping you glued to that screen. It's really all about the profit motive. It's directly analogous to the food analogy, to the big food analogy. There's a chemical in your Oreo, right? I use Oreo as an example, but it's across the board in corporate food. They actually put a cocktail of chemicals in there to make you want the next Oreo. It's the only reason it's there. It doesn't add to flavor or preservation or anything. It's only there to make you want the next Oreo or the next chip. And that's what they're doing to us. They want us to be addicted because that's how they make their money. Sorry to sound so cynical, but it's just the truth. One last caller, then we got to go.
Hey, Dad, it's Catherine.
Oh, hi, Catherine.
I've been texting you for the last hour while you're doing this stupid
Yeah,
show.
I turn off my phone while I'm recording.
Well, Dad, you're really embarrassing me, okay? This is like, you just sound like one of those old people who's like, rock and roll kills people. And
Yeah, I know. I do sound like that, don't I?
You do. And you got me a phone when I was 15.
Yes, I did.
And I have a tablet.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you're older now. You know your limit when you were young, right? You first of all, you didn't get anything at all until you were like 11 years old, and then you had a limit, and you still have a limit.
Yeah, well, that's because we were just at the cusp of when this stuff was being invented. Now it's a different world.
It is a different world. So, I really love to have your opinion on all this.
This isn't being recorded, is it? I don't want to be on
You're
your
on the show. We're live
Dad,
right now.
Come on.
I love you, sweetie.
I couldn't reach you on your cell phone, so I called your show line.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I have some friends who will go out to dinner and they'll look at their phones the whole time, and that's like super annoying, and I'm not into it. But for the most part, I think it's fine.
Right. You're able to deal with it. So, what's for dinner tonight, hon?
Oh, I was just gonna bring over pizza.
That's fine. Pizza night. Okay.
I'll see you later.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye. There it is. Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. The SCTRT Players, Krista Jarzinski, Anja, not Anja Seeger, The Scrouse, and Jonathan Wachala. Music by Peter Donalds. Find us on all your favorite apps and platforms, including Apple Podcasts, iTunes, all of that. Just search Charles Bursell Presents, and boom, up will come. Like us on the SCTRT Facebook page. Go to charlesbursell.com. That's where you'll find all the links, all the shows, all the time. See ya.